very quick, extremely dark video. I just want to announce and celebrate with the Lottie friends. Oh, what's happening? That I'm going to sleep at exactly 11:23 p.m. And that might sound like a stupid thing to celebrate, but I haven't been able to go to sleep like earlier than 2 in weeks, months, I don't know. I have no concept of the passage of time anymore. And I've been waking up constantly at like 11 or whatever. Like I usually wake up at 9 and then I can't rise, I don't have energy, and then I go back to sleep. And this isn't the worst of my sleeping schedule. Like there was a time in my life where I was going to sleep at 5 and waking up at 4. That was rough. But I had kind of fixed my sleeping schedule, and then it got so much worse again, along with my, bad feeling, my spell of melancholy. I just decided to call it that. But yeah, like I woke up at 8 today because I slept in the living room since I slept with Sophie. Like Sophie slept over. I slept with Sophie. Sophie slept over, and like opening my bed to make it a double is so annoying. So we always sleep on the couch. And Laura and Kenji woke up early to go to the airport, so I ended up just waking because of their like noise. And now I'm tired, and I walked around and I worked out today. I did my jumping jacks, I did my stretching, I did my, I forget how you called it in English, planks. I did my planks, and I was very surprised by how I still have my plank abilities. I thought I'd lost them. But yeah, it was a beautiful sunny day. I went out, I had Starbucks, I washed clothes, and I'm going to sleep before even midnight. I haven't gone to sleep, like, I truly haven't gone to sleep in the day that I woke up in millennia. Everyone clap for me. Also, now it's even darker. My lilies are blooming. I'll show them properly to you tomorrow. I got lilies and they were in buds and they're finally blooming and the whole room smells like lilies. And for the first time in a long time, I really dreamt up a verse. I know I wasn't sleeping, but it feels so different when I think up a verse and dream up a verse. I don't know what the difference is. I mean, I do, but I can't explain it to you. But for the first time, I dreamt up a verse, and it was, I slept under the cover of lilies that summer, dead body of a girl. And I'm not gonna work on it, because if I start working on it now, I will not be able to go to sleep at this hour. But yeah, I'm just glad I'm having a good day, and yay to me. And this was the outfit because, well, yesterday I was thinking about how my outfits haven't really been making me happy. Like I've been kind of having a hard time with my closet and my fashion, and I reached the conclusion that it's not that I don't have the right clothes or enough clothes, it's that I have too many clothes. And I feel like I've desensitized myself to the fantastical nature of my outfit. And I got a comment on TikTok recently. Someone was like, oh, if I had your closet, I'd wake up crying of joy every day. And I was like, damn. And I'm like feeling so bad about my clothes and stuff. And I've also just been thinking about how I feel like when you have kind of a romantic or more girlish kind of fashion sense, it's very easy to develop kind of this inferiority complex because of what our ideas of like coolness and fashion forward are, and how generally it's like traditionally masculine leaning fashion that is considered cool, and girly clothes are considered tacky or outdated, blah 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 blah. And it's just one of the many insidious ways with which misogyny makes us put ourselves down. And the fact is that this is my dream outfit. This is what makes me feel cool and happy and joyful and proud and like myself. But unfortunately, it's a bit too hot for this today. So I think I'm just gonna put on a skirt and no sleeves. I'm very upset, but it's not sleeve weather. Guys, I just made a turn in the park and suddenly hi. It's the best day of my life. Is that one poopy? Oh, stopped. I love them. I forgot my water bottle at home and I'm very dehydrated, but I'm gonna stay with the goats for as long as I can. I feel like when I'm dehydrated, my face like immediately kind of gets droopy. Why am I thinking about my face being droopy? Look at the goats. I'm gonna look at the goats and read at Angela Carter. Reread. Heart-shaped sunglasses. He loves how heart-shaped my ass is. I don't have heart-shaped sunglasses. It's very sad. Guess who just got into university? Why is my hair thing in the frame? Obviously, I already am in university, but the story basically is last year I applied for the course I wanted, which was comparative literature, but it was very, very competitive. It's in general very competitive, like a very high cutting grade. That's not the word for it in English, but you know what I mean. And I did it, but that semester specifically, it was super competitive, had the same cutting grade, what's the word for that, you know what I mean, as like medicine, which is crazy. I didn't get in because I was a mediocre student in high school. I was the kind of student who was the best at the subjects I liked, like philosophy or English, and the worst in the ones that didn't appeal to me, like maths. My maths teacher, bless her heart, she was super nice to me, and one day she was just like, look, I know you don't like this, it's fine, like you always get by with your other grades, but you just need to put enough effort so that I'm not forced to make you repeat this grade, because I don't want to make you do that. But like there are school like obligations, right? So if you completely just get a 0 in everything, I need to hold you back. If I sound bizarre, I woke up today with the worst sore throat ever. Swallowing my saliva was literally like swallowing lava. And then I like gargled with salt water, had some honey tea, and one of those like little... Oh, my English isn't working. What's wrong with me? I just feel sick. Like, I think I just have like a little flu. My roommate has a flu, not COVID. But yeah, I'm feeling like, you know, you just feel tired when you have the flu. And like I have just this pain around my throat. I think the thing was basically I had a very clogged nose last night, and so I just breathed through my mouth the whole night, and now it hurts bad. But I'm really happy. Oh, sorry, I didn't continue this. Sorry. Well, I didn't get in with the thing I wanted, so I stayed in Brazil. This was in September of 2022. So I stayed in Brazil, and in the beginning of 2023, I applied again for something else because there wasn't that, the universities don't offer that course in the summer semester. The thing was basically, I was doing nothing with my life in Brazil, and I just needed to get on with it, become an adult. So I, compromised, applied to something that I found interesting, but wasn't really what I wanted, just so I could come to Germany because I don't have like a European passport or anything, so I can only be here with university. So I applied for that, I got in, and then I did the semester, and it was fine, but I felt very unmotivated, so I applied again now for the winter semester for comparative literature, and I got in. I'm gonna do comparative literature as my major and philosophy and art history as my minor, and I'm really excited. I feel like that's such a perfect combination for me. Back in the day, I only applied for comparative literature and philosophy, but I'm really happy I applied also for art history this semester because I'm really, really excited to study that. I actually have another friend from Brazil who was also applying for comparative literature, and she also got in, so we're gonna be besties. That's really good for me because I was very lonely this semester in university. Like I didn't manage to make friends at all. Part of that was for sure the fact that I entered in the summer semester, and like everyone, like what happens is people drop out, so spots open and you can apply for the summer semester, right? But officially university starts in the winter, so in the autumn. So when you get in the summer semester, like everyone kind of already knows each other, and you miss all of the... I'm looking for my fucking hairbrush and I can't find it. But like everyone knows each other, and all the like mingling things that happen have already happened in the autumn, so I didn't really get to know anyone, and that sucked. But now I will. My camera is so dirty. I'm gonna straighten my hair. Wow, this light is super mean to me right now. But I'm gonna say my hair is already straightened actually, like in comparison to its usual texture. I discovered my sister's flat iron, that's the name, right, yesterday, and I thought I liked it. Just like I recognize that I have a lot of negative false beliefs connected to my hair. Like I think most girls with wavy curly hair have experienced that these glasses go dark like in the sun, but it's very annoying when I don't want sunglasses. I'm all over the place today, I'm so sorry. But yeah, I feel like most girls with curly wavy hair, especially if you grew up in a space where most people had straight hair, it developed this like inferiority complex about it, and you can internalize beliefs that it's not formal and that kind of thing. Like I always felt like for big parties I had to straighten it. And I recognize where all of those things come from, but also sometimes you just want to change things up, and that's what I'm doing today. Like yesterday I was just feeling kind of bad. I had a great day yesterday actually. I went to the park and saw the sheep and the goats, and that was great. But sometimes you just want to change it up. Like sometimes, of course, you have to recognize all those internalized wrong beliefs you have, but sometimes you also just want to look a little different, because I have to stare at myself every day, and I do Instagram and YouTube and those things, so I have to stare at myself more than the regular person, and so sometimes you just want to look a little different. So yeah, I think I'm bad at realizing insults, and when I look back in my life, I think about things people have said to me that I thought were neutral or even compliments in relation to my hair, and I realized that people were actually being mean about it. I don't know, I come from a very privileged background, and if you have ever gone to like private school and been in that kind of environment, you know, girls, especially from a certain point on, start looking very much the same. And I always remember coming back to school one day, like once on after a summer, and seeing someone who I knew had like big wavy like puffy hair come to school with like completely straight smooth hair, and I was like, damn, like is everyone kind of going through this like puberty thing, and should I be going through that? And like I never did, because I like my hair. I think it's such a big part of my identity. I think it's beautiful. It looks like my dad's when he was younger, and like fuck you, right? Like, you know. But I don't know, I guess I still like, you just develop this idea that it's less mature somehow. And I guess sometimes when I'm like, I might love my hair, but if I pass by a girl with like perfectly smooth straight hair, it makes me go like, ugh. Like, I don't know, I feel less put together, and I know all of those things come from horrible places, but it's kind of hard to act against them. But in that vein, I was gonna put my makeup on today and show you the new way I'm doing my eyebrows, but I've been putting makeup a lot recently, and I don't want to develop a weird thing with it, so we're going barefaced today. Also, I some days I just can't handle the feeling of those things on my face. Vlogception. I think sometimes I don't feel that my life is moving in any specific direction. Like, this is a really random existential crisis fueled by a random Virgil Abloh quote I just saw on Twitter, RIP by the way. And this quote is goes around a lot, and he says, okay, I literally just saw it but I forget the exact wording, but he says something like, I do everything I do for my 17-year-old self. And then a neutral someone on my timeline was saying oh, I get this, or I relate so much to this. And I don't know, I think a lot of the crux of issues I've been having lately come from the fact that I'm not sure what or why or for who I do the things I do anymore. I don't know, I feel like I've always had a kind of clear idea of who I was. Not kind of like very clear idea of who I was. Like, I've always known what I like, what I don't like. I've always had a pretty clear identity. But somehow that doesn't translate really into knowing what I want from life. Like, I know these things about myself from a very stagnant perspective. I know what I want to dress like. I know what art I want to consume and want to produce. But recently I feel like I'm just really aimless. Maybe when you're younger, you kind of, like, you don't really understand how the world works, so it's easier to have pipe dreams. Like, you don't really know what certain professions are actually like, so it's easier to dream about them. But once you kind of get to know the world better, I feel like it's easy to be very disillusioned by everything. And right now I'm kind of getting a lot of the things I've wanted from life, and as soon as I get them, they stop being, I mean, obviously, but they stop being dreams, but they stop being so, I don't know, I feel like nothing in my life is grandiose. Like, the thing with that line from the quote from Virgil Abloh is that it sounds super, like, intense, you know? And nothing really feels intense in my life anymore, I think. I don't know. Literally earlier today, I was, like, dancing around, eating a tangerine, listening to the patient mode, and I was really happy. But I think this is something that's been haunting me for a while now. I guess because during my gap year, I was very comfortable not doing anything, not really having goals, because I was like, my goal in that moment was to live for the moment, to just be chill, not think so much. And I was going out more, I was doing more things, I was in a relationship, so that was also, I don't know, something that kind of changed my priorities. But now I'm in another country and I'm in university, and because I'm living alone, I'm grappling more with the reality of being broke, and I'm really broke right now, by the way. I'm worryingly broke, and I have to pay for the semester of uni, but whatever. I'll deal with it. I really don't know how to explain exactly what I mean. I'm trying to work through it as I'm telling you about it, but I just feel like I don't know why I do the things I do anymore. For example, writing is my big passion, right? But right now, I don't know. I don't know how to explain what I mean. Or writing, I guess, some time ago, I kind of put in my head that I really wanted to go for publication, but I just have been having a hard time writing recently, and I got a lot of rejections from magazines, which is totally fine. Like, I didn't submit that much. I only submitted a few pieces. Didn't work for the magazines that I submitted them to. That's fine. But I guess that just got me thinking, like, remove this more recently applied artificial goal, which is publication, because publication isn't the real goal. Like, you want to have to do something if you're writing. Like, you have to want your writing to do something, and being published isn't something writing does. Like, it's something you achieve. What writing does is different, you know. It's carrying ideas to people. It's causing greater conversations. And I felt a little lost about what I really want my writing to do. I guess after I finished I've been working on my poetry collection since like 2018, and it was a very big driving factor in my life, and I finished it last year. And that, like, I really knew what I wanted to achieve with that, you know? And with my more recent writing, I've been writing a lot of poems, but unlike that poetry collection, they don't have a clear direction. And I don't know what my goals in life are anymore. Like, even outside of professional goals, like, oh, I want to be this, because I really don't know what I want to be anymore. I have no clue. Or like relationship goals, like, oh, I want to be married some days. I don't know if I want to be married someday, but it sounds a little, I don't know, complicated right now. But not those are like things you want to do, but I mean, like, I don't know what I'm doing in the world anymore, kinda. I'm waiting for this big epiphany that reveals my duty, and it's not coming, and it won't come, because things don't work like that. But I guess I read so much fantasy, and you're kind of used to the mission coming to you. And I know in real life you have to go after the mission, but I don't know what the mission is. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know anything, and I feel really lost and aimless, and I guess it affects my self-worth a little bit because you can start to feel like you're just kind of wasting space. Like, I have had so many opportunities in my life, so much luck, such an unbelievable amount of luck. And what am I doing with it? I have no clue. Right now I'm not doing anything. I keep trying to think what kind of victory would really do it for me, you know? What would make me feel, you know, when you're like watching a video from a concert and artists always seem so ecstatic up there, and I always thought, like, I'm not a musician, so it's not, and that's not even actually, you know, I think it's very easy to fantasize about that sort of thing. I never did because I could not handle like concerts and that kind of thing. Like, it's so oppositional to my skill set. It just feels like something that would make you feel so impossibly fulfilled and ecstatic, and the kind of victory that really sings through you. And I don't know what that's gonna be for me. When I finished that poetry collection, I got, that's weird, I got close to feeling that way, but I was more relieved than ecstatic, I think. I don't know, like, good things have been happening to me, but they never feel cathartic. I once talked to my therapist about this, about how I feel like I never experienced catharsis. And I don't remember what my therapist didn't say much. Yeah, and I keep waiting for the moment where I'm gonna go up to a cliff and scream, and it doesn't come, and life is really small. And that's life, you know. That, like, I feel like when you grow older, kind of just realize that life is smaller than you thought it was, and that's alright. But it's also a little scary because I grew up believing that it was really, really big. My glasses are hurting my head. The light is really bad right now because it's rainy, so it's always like a really weird brightness. But today is Wednesday, I think. I'm at the park and I didn't film after those last couple after all the stuff you saw last, because that was Friday and I got really sick. I went thrifting with some friends, then after we went to a birthday party, a total stranger's birthday party. But then that night I started feeling really feverish. So I went home, I went to bed, and the next day I basically did nothing. I was just sick and had a sore throat, and I started watching The Summer Turned Pretty, which is actually a really cute show. I thought it was gonna be worse than it is. Been feeling a little down because the weather's gotten ugly and I got sick and I was feeling kind of bad about myself. But we're up again, and I think this is gonna be the last day I film because it is getting cold, and I think it's the world telling me to end my summer vlog because it's getting very autumny around here, and August is almost over, and even though I am a person who insists on summer for as long as possible, even I have to accept September is autumnal. Vlog. Hi to the vlog. I am of the English vlog. I am of the genuine opinion that I should be the highest paid model alive for putting my little feet in that mysterious creek. All the swans were literally waiting to murder us. The hem of my skirt is super wet and it's so cold.